It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like,
I'm Mia Mignon.
Because your quarterback don't know how to throw a back shoulder fade, and every time that he's in perfect position and back shoulder fade in the end zone, he can't throw it. And
love. You know, what do you know about love? What do you possibly think you know about love? You know, I'm sick and tired of men using love like it's some kind of disease you just catch. Love should have brought your ass home last night.
Maury Lang Show with the Renegade Relationship. Let me shatter that myth real quick before you go on. Just because a woman likes sex all the time does not make her a freak.
hey, and welcome back to another episode of Routes and Relationships, where I am Mia Mignon.
And I am Maury Lang Shaw. What's going on, fam?
Hi, Maury.
Hi, Mia.
Hi, Routes and Relationships fans.
Hey, Sports Freak fans. Sports Freak and Renegade Relationships. Look for us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, iHeartRadio.
Everywhere you can find a podcast, we're there.
We are there.
Like
On
right
Instagram
up in your
is
face.
Instagram is Routes and Relationships. Facebook Routes and Relationships. Twitter Routes_relationships. So
No, Routes_ships.
oh, jeez. See why I don't do this?
Ships, SHIPS.
Twitter Routes_ships.
Yes. You almost had it.
Oh my goodness. All right, what's on top for today?
We're going to continue with our pre-draft breakdown of NFL divisions. Today we're doing the AFC South.
The AFC South, which comprises of
The Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts, and the Houston Texans.
Houston Texans.
Yes.
Well, who you want to start? And then for the second half? Let's get that part. Second half of the show?
The second half of the show, which is our relationship segment, somehow has turned into a sex segment here. And Mr. Renegade Relationship is going to continue with his how you can tell whether or not a girl can give a good head based on how she's eating. He's actually going to tell her how to give the perfect blowjob or a good blowjob?
The perfect blowjob.
The perfect blowjob.
Perfect oral sex. We're going to go into how to, so stay tuned for that.
Chemo Christmas.
Yes, we're going to get, I'm telling you, it's going to be X-rated, totally X-rated, so under 18, turn it off. You can listen to the first half, but turn it off during the second half. You've been warned.
Well, you know what? I'm about to get offended. You keep having all of these oral sex things. You might be trying to subliminally tell me something.
Hey, we could all, including me, get better at everything we do.
I get to clean up.
Not saying anything is wrong, but we're going to get into it.
Right, I get to clean up.
Sure.
Okay.
So, AFC South.
AFC South. Who do you want to start with? The Colts, since they start with the C?
All right.
Since they're
Indianapolis
first.
Colts. The horrible Indianapolis Colts. Do they still have a quarterback?
I guess if he wishes to play football. I mean, I don't know. I guess he's supposed to be healthy enough to play this year, I guess. But they need everything you can think of. A wide receiver, offensive lineman. They need an inside linebacker. They need a quarterback. They need another wide receiver. A cornerback. I'm sorry. A cornerback, yes. They were 4-12 last year, and they need some help.
When do they pick this draft?
Soon. You know what? That's the one thing I did not write down for them.
They
Where
pick,
they pick.
I think it's 6.
Thank you.
6. They have the 6th pick in the draft. They had the 6th pick and they were 4-12.
They were 4-12.
Gosh, there's some horrible NFL teams out there. I tell you that much. Well, they got a head coach.
Yeah.
They got a head coach from your son's squad.
Yeah, well, I don't care. If they still gonna. Well, I'm not even gonna say that right now because it's not time for me to say that in the show. But I'm just gonna say that they need a lot of help, and they also need Andrew Luck to actually want to play football because I don't think he wants to play football.
You don't think he wants to play football?
No, mentally, I don't think he's mentally prepared to play
don't
football.
say that.
Anymore. Yes.
Well, they got their most important player back. He signed a 1-year deal to come back.
Who?
Adam Vinatieri. He's coming back to become the all-time scoring leader.
Doing good for Adam Vinatieri.
I think that's the only reason he's coming back, just to get the record.
I'm kind of agree with you there.
Hopefully their defense either can cause turnovers and they play on a short field because they're not going to move the ball on offense. Therefore, they're going to have some long field goals.
And having said that, they'll probably be the ones that end up winning the division because they're going to benefit from the whack schedule.
Yeah, they do have a
play
awful schedule.
Yeah, they will. Enough of them.
All right, but you know what? Just like the Saints with Katrina, we talked about the Saints last week with their owner dying.
Mm-hmm.
Colts have a very inspirational story of their own that they're playing for.
Which is?
Their linebacker, Edwin Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
The Uber driver. Right.
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Killed by that Uber driver.
Well, he was with the Uber driver and they got hit.
No, I think it's two separate cars.
Oh.
I think. He was killed and the Uber driver was killed by, and it's going to make all these Trump supporters very, very happy, an illegal immigrant.
Right.
Can you believe that? Oh my God, it's horrible.
I'm not going to do the politics thing and the illegal.
Yeah, we can't get it. I don't want to get into politics in this show, even though we could. Politics and religion can't break the rules of polite conversation.
No, you cannot.
But Edwin Jackson was killed by an illegal immigrant.
Anyway,
they're playing for something. Colts be playing for something.
Yeah.
Anything about the Colts?
Well, they play well. I don't know how much that'll be on their minds, but if they want to use it, they're going to need all of the help they can get. They're going to need that too.
Yeah, you got to play with some inspiration.
Okay.
Teams won a Super Bowl over inspiration.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be the Colts though.
Who's up next?
Tennessee Titans.
Titans.
Yes, the 9-7 Tennessee Titans, who actually beat the Jaguars twice last year.
What I don't understand is the Tennessee Titans, who you just said beat the Jaguars last year twice, they went to the playoffs this year, and they fired their coach. Explain that one, Sports Freak.
I cannot explain that one. Maybe they just want something new. It's men running that place, so
they want something new.
They need something new and refreshing at all times.
Did they hire a female coach?
No.
Okay then.
But they just like the newness, something new.
Man,
just
it's
having
ridiculous.
something new.
Anyway, who do they hire?
The Titans hired Mike Vrabel, and I cannot say his name with my braces.
You said it, Mike Vrabel.
Yes, the braces are in the way.
The Super Bowl champion. They signed your boy from. They're getting everybody, all expatriates. Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, they have Will Compton. And they still have Brian Orakpo, and they have some people believe that they have the league's best defensive tackle.
Who is that?
Jarrell Casey.
No. Have you heard a guy named Aaron McDonald?
Aaron Donald.
Donald. I keep on saying McDonald. Aaron Donald. Have you heard of a guy down Don Terry Pope?
Well, okay, let's say one of the best.
Yeah, but he may be top 5. Okay.
Okay, yes.
Good. They got Deion Lewis too. Everybody from the old Patriots have come to the Titans.
What's their quarterback name?
Cornerback? You said cornerback?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So they're okay.
They'll be alright.
They just need to get some offense, and they may give the Jags a run for their money for this division here.
Alright, speaking of the Jags, this is a team that was one bad quarter away from playing in the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. They have 11 of their 13 defensive players coming back, so they're going to be pretty set on defense.
They're set as a team, and people sleep on Blake Bortles, but he gets the job done.
Well, he won't if they don't get some receivers, because Allen Robinson is gone.
And Allen Ernst.
Yeah, so he needs receivers, and he needs good receivers that makes him look a lot better, way better than what he is.
But they got the offensive line. They solidified their offensive line. They got the cream of the crop in free agency as far as offensive linemen. The guy from the Panthers, 5 years, $66.5 million, $30 million. The guy guaranteed for an offensive lineman.
Yeah, well, you can't run the ball forever. You're going to eventually have to throw the ball, and Jesus Christ.
But they worked for them last year, and signing this offensive lineman, they should be much better running.
We shall see. For Jacksonville, I'm just worried about Blake Bortles. So it wouldn't surprise me if they drafted a quarterback, because they're going to need one.
I don't know. Blake Bortles is re-up for like 3 years.
Yeah, again, it wouldn't surprise me if they draft for quarterback because they're going to need one.
That's funny because actually the GM came out and was not very supportive of Blake Bortles and said, even though we signed him for 3 years, we don't count on him being a long-term solution.
He's like that boyfriend that says, I'm so sorry, I'll never cheat on you again, and he does all the right things and does all the right things, but then some chick with a fat ass walk by and he has to have sex with her, and you find out that he messes up again. Like
That's a horrible
he's a
example.
borderline.
That's horrible.
To be
That
trusted.
is a
He's
horrible
borderline. Like
example.
you know in the back of your mind that all
Horrible.
he needs to do is just see piece of ass.
No, horrible.
Because he doesn't have
Get off that example.
He doesn't have it with him.
Get
He
off that
doesn't have
example.
it within him to actually be
Horrible.
faithful to
Look at
you.
me.
That's horrible.
YouTube.
He doesn't have it in him to
That's a
actually
bad
be faithful.
example.
Well, good. Just like Blake Bortles is a bad quarterback, so the two
He's not a
meshes
bad
well.
quarterback.
Yeah, well, you go ahead and you stand by that man.
All right, the Houston Texans. My boy will be back.
J.J. Watt or DeShaun Watson?
Are you serious?
It
Did
could
you say
be.
J.J. Watt is
J-
my boy?
J.J. Watt, because they're all hurt.
Look,
Just
I'm about to cut this
DeShaun
podcast
Watson,
off.
J.J. Watt, who else?
DeShaun Watson.
DeShaun
That's my
Watson.
boy.
Did you know that they don't have any first round picks?
I did know that. They sent all those picks to the
And no
Browns.
second round picks?
No second round picks.
No. So they
God
don't pick
dang.
until the third round. So yes, they're gonna need some help.
I don't know
They're
what
gonna have
happened to
to
their
find
second
some
round.
good. They sent it to the Browns.
I know they sent the first round
They
picks to the
sent the
Browns.
second one to the Browns too. So they're gonna need to find some good quality players in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round, and they're gonna need to find good quality players on defense.
Well, they still got $56 million in cap space, so they sitting pretty.
Yeah, well, good luck.
You signed your boy to an extension, head coach, Billy O.
Yeah, he's okay.
They signed my boy,
Who's
Honey Badger.
You got a million. So many people are your boys. The Honey Badger don't give a shit. That's your boy.
I'm saying these guys I like as people when they
Players.
they were looked down upon at one time, and they became studs, and then people still hate on them, but they can play.
Yeah, I like the Honey Badger.
Right.
Yeah, I
Signed
like
with
the
the
Honey
Houston
Badger.
Texans. It's a 1-year deal. No big deal.
It's
All
gonna
right.
be interesting to see how they
That is.
turn out. Because the thing about it is, everybody is waiting for J.J. Watt and see what J.J. Watt's gonna do.
As far as what?
Come back from his broken leg.
It's a broken leg. That's 8 weeks. Not to
Hey,
downplay a broken leg, but it's
Hey.
an 8-week thing.
hey. Sometimes people have mental
And
health.
was it broken or was it fractured?
It was broken.
Like Gordon Hayward broke his leg like in 2 pieces. Like you saw it hanging out his sock.
He broke it. J.J. Watt broke his leg.
Oh. All right. Well, I don't care about J.J. Watt one way or another. Good guy. I just don't. That's just me.
Okay, so
So who's gonna win it? Who's gonna come in last?
last the Colts. I think this division will be exactly like it was last year. Jaguars first, Tennessee second, Houston third, and the Colts fourth. Even though Houston and the Colts have the same record, so that's how I think it'll be.
Well, I think it would be Jacksonville again as well. Houston will come in a close second. Tennessee will come in a distant third. And Indianapolis come in, they won't even reach the 4th place mark. They're just going to be so bad.
They're just gonna be so bad.
Yeah, but Jacksonville and Houston played without DeShaun Watson last year, which is a big deal. He's going to be back. They're going to give Jacksonville a run for their money, but Houston's defense is not good enough yet, where Jacksonville's defense is by far the best. Therefore, Jacksonville, Houston, Tennessee, Colts, in that order.
And that's why I am the sports freak, because I have Jacksonville, Tennessee, Houston, and the Colts, and I'm almost certain, like 99.9%, like somebody being a baby daddy, that's how it's going to come out this year.
Well, this is recorded. It's a podcast, so we
I
can always
know.
come back to it.
We can come back
Always,
to it.
just like all the fans came back and told us we don't know what we're talking about after we did our Super Bowl. Hey, it is what it is.
It is. It's going to be that way. AFC South, there you have it.
Right, but I think I'm going to be right. Anyway, coming up next, what are we talking about?
something sexual, some subliminal shot you taking at me about how to give.
Oh, man, I don't even want to do it now.
No, I'm just joking.
All
You're
right.
going to tell a woman how to perform, give the perfect blowjob.
All right. For those that are PG and R-rated listeners, turn off the podcast. Go wash the dishes or do something else because it's going to get X-rated with the advice that I'm about to give.
Okay.
And this is not a subliminal shot at my lover, Mia. I don't know why you got to take this stuff so personally.
I'm just joking. I like to tell jokes.
Didn't you ask me how I would know how to give a blowjob? Were you taking shots at me?
No, not in that way, shape, or fashion. Because I don't even want to picture that. Let's move on.
Here's the reason I'm telling women how to give a blowjob. Because even if you Google this stuff, you YouTube this stuff, you know who gives the most advice on giving a blowjob?
Let me guess. Females.
Females.
You know who searches the most among giving good blowjobs?
Who?
Females. So that's why female writers write about giving good blowjobs.
Out of 100 blowjobs, if you interviewed men, out of 100 men, how many do you say would get great blowjobs? Out of 100 men. If you asked them
If
that.
I asked 100 men, have you ever had a great
No,
blowjob?
no. I said if you ask 100 men, do you receive great blowjobs? How many would say absolutely?
Probably 15% of them.
15%, not 50. 1-5. 15%. And you have, I'm counting on the internet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 articles on the first page of giving great blowjobs, and they're all written by women. Meanwhile, you think 15% of men actually receive great blowjobs. You see the problem where I'm going with this?
Yeah, they receive great blowjobs, and about 80% of them receive satisfiable blowjobs.
Right.
They don't have
well, I'm going to tell women how to give great blowjobs.
Okay.
And you may, don't go to YouTube because I'm really not going to demonstrate, but I'm going to go into detail on how you do it.
Okay.
All right?
Let me get a pen. I need to take notes.
You already know this stuff. First thing, women. The 3 major body parts that you need to incorporate when you give a blowjob. Do you have any idea what those are?
Yes, but I would like for you to tell the listeners.
Okay. 1, your hands. Kind of obvious. You may have known that. 2 is your tongue.
Okay.
May or may not have been obvious. 3 is your throat. Your hands, your tongue, your throat.
Okay.
3 major components. You'll never use all 3 at the same time, but you will use 2 of the 3 often.
Okay.
Now, when you have an erect penis, like mine is, I was about to say right now. There are different techniques you can use. One thing I'm going to tell you never to do is jerk it. A lot of women, they jerk the penis. And what I mean by jerking is like you're moving it up and down with your hand.
Like the exercise thing, the shaker thing. What's that?
No, but they just hold that in place.
Okay.
With women jerk the penis, meaning they hold it tight enough where they're taking the skin with them as they jerk it. It doesn't hurt, but you're moving the skin along with the stroking motion. And there's a difference between jerking and stroking. Stroking is when you don't take the skin, you just stroke your hand on the penis.
Gently. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it could be somewhat firm, but you're not squeezing it. There's no squeezing and there's no jerking.
Okay.
So stroking is the key. Lubricant, when you're stroking, is key. One of the major ingredients to lubricate the penis while you're stroking it is your own saliva.
Okay. So
Don't be afraid of saliva.
slow down. Let me write that down. No jerk, stroke, saliva, go.
Right. Saliva. Saliva is a great lubricant. And with some men, it actually is a turn on that you are willing to get sloppy. That's where the term sloppiness comes from. Right, if you get sloppy, the saliva is falling out your mouth, you kind of catch it, put it back on the penis, you stroke it, going up and down on the penis while you're stroking it with the saliva as the lubricant.
Okay.
That's one way. That's the most common, basic way. If you want to get a little more into it and what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Get a little more freaky with it, you can put another hand on it.
2 hands.
Right. Hopefully the penis is large enough to have 2 hands where you can actually grip it like this. And you do the same stroking motion, but with 2 hands. And don't be afraid to let the saliva go. Use it as a lubricant. Also, when using one hand or no hands at all, this is where the tongue and the throat come into play. There's something erotic, there's something very sexual about a woman who tries to put a penis all the way down to her throat.
Okay.
With the gawk motion, I call it the gawk. The gawk, you put it so far back that you have no choice but to kind of gag.
Okay.
Unless you have no gag reflex, which very few women have. You know, very few women don't have a gag reflex. But most women do, and they end up choking.
Well,
but you're not quite choking, you're gagging.
Well, I've already stated how to practice on your working on your gag reflex.
How do you practice working on your gag reflex?
You can, according to the dentist, before you come to the dentist and get x-rays, and you have to get those x-rays way in the back, you can try sticking a toothbrush all the way to the back of your throat a couple of times a day before your dentist appointment, and it should help your gag reflex.
And there you have it. That's how you help your gag reflex, ladies. But it's important to put the whole thing in your mouth as far back as you can go and just tickle your tonsils. I call it tickling your tonsils with the penis.
Okay.
And you do that a couple of times, come back, stroke it, use the saliva as lubricant, put it to the back of your throat. Here's a creative technique for the freaks out there that really want to please their man, is when you put it to the back of your throat and you gag, you do the gawk, just open your mouth as wide as you can and stick your tongue out as far as you can. Pretend like you're trying to lick his balls. With his throat, with his penis all the way in the back of your throat, you're attempting to lick his balls. Try that and tell me your man's reaction.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, I'm trying to help the women out there, and I'm definitely helping the man out there, because it's stuff they want to say but they can't say to their lady, because a lot of women, they don't like criticism and they take it as criticism. It's not a conversation piece.
So she doesn't ask, how can I give you a better blowjob? You don't think that she may ask, what do you want more? Or what can I incorporate in my blowjob that'll make it eventful?
Sure.
Okay.
But I think men look at that as, if I do give advice, that he's being critical. And that could be the man's problem. See, now we get into the relationship, the sex counseling part, which I can do, the mindset of a man and women when it comes to sex. Because she can genuinely and sincerely want to be coached and want to be taught, and she wants her man to tell her. But the man is sensitive to, it could be one of those, do I look fat in this dress questions.
Right.
So, and there's no right answer to that. There is a right answer, but it's not a truthful answer or an honest answer.
Well, I think if she's asking a question about blowjobs and something is like sex, then yeah, she wants him to tell her, not critique her or criticize her like you said, but she's asking for a reason because she wants to know.
Okay, that's fair. That's mature conversation. That's effective communication between the couple. That if people are having those conversations, that is great. And hopefully a man can be that honest and give her the details of what he likes.
Well, that's the problem right there. I don't think that a man is going to say, hey, you know what? I want you to be able to put my whole penis in the back of your throat and make the gunk sound, stick your tongue out like you licking my bones. I don't think no man is going to say that.
Well, I just said it for them. That's why they listen to this podcast, so I can say it for all men and have men experience that part of the blowjob.
Okay.
Great.
You know, I would be curious to know myself to say. They may say it, but they might say, well, you know, I'm just saying, well, you know what, hold on. Let me go to Pornhub. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Because they don't want to say it. They may show her.
See, and that's where I was leading to from the beginning, that it's going to be, she can take it as criticism, or he thinks she may take it as criticism. Therefore, they're using a third party to say, hey, this is kind of it. So, again, that's on a relationship, that's on a sex counseling side of how to communicate about sex. But I'm just giving the how-to, specifically what 99.9% of men would love to receive.
Great.
And like last time, we touched on it a little bit, but didn't go into detail, and about what body parts are being neglected. Part of oral sex for the man is don't neglect his balls. So that...
And the gooch area.
And the gooch area.
Right.
Yeah, if you're real freaky, you get to the gooch area. Some women get real super freaky and keep on going past the gooch area. But that's not part of this conversation. But I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, as far as the balls are concerned, there's no biting. You can be very creative with the balls because all it needs is a tongue, maybe some. You can actually pretend like you're French kissing the balls. You can.
Visual.
Right, French kiss the balls. At the same time, stroking his penis. Stroking, not jerking. Stroking his penis. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I have questions.
What questions?
Do you stroke the shaft of the penis? Do you stroke the head of the penis? Or do you stroke the whole thing?
The whole thing.
The whole thing? Just
the
not
whole
the
thing.
top?
The whole thing. Even though the most sensitive part of the penis is just right under the head, you can make sure you're getting that sensation, touching that area all the time, but still stroking the whole thing. Like if you want to get real technical with it, you can use your thumb on the sensitive area, but still stroke it like you're stretching your thumb, but still stroking the whole thing.
You know what I just noticed?
What's that?
If I go over my notes, nowhere in my notes does it say anything about sucking.
Right, and it's a reason for that. Because a lot of people take sucking dick literally. And it's really not about sucking it. Like you don't suck on it like you suck on a lollipop. It's about stroking it with your hands, stroking it with your tongue, stroking it with your lips, in your mouth. That's all it's about. Just going back and forth. There's no real sucking motion to it.
No sucking motion.
You know, some women kind of get creative. They're really into it, and they kind of suck the head and make it like a popping sound occasionally.
Right.
But you know, there's no real sensation to that. That looks good on video, but there's no real sensation to that part of it. But it's not really a sucking movement. It's not a sucking action. It's just a back and forth, creative with your hands, with your tongue, with your throat. And I didn't say anything about teeth.
The molars.
Right, the molars,
Molar
right.
back.
All that stuff. So hopefully that helps. That was kind of a review for a lot of you. I know a lot of you are going to say, hey, I knew all that. That's how I give head. And my man is totally happy.
Well, I'm not going to say that because I was brought up and raised that, oral sex is cancerous. So, I don't know. That's news to me. I
sound like
notes.
an overprotective parent. That's all that means.
I have notes, so I don't know.
All right, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you give a perfect blowjob to your man.
Perfect blowjob. Alrighty. Okay.
All right, anything else?
No, I'm just going to go over my notes.
All right. On that note.
Yes, I'm going to read and study.
All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.